Today I will be demonstrating how to place a Penrose drain in a model. So some things that you'll need will be, of course, the Penrose drain. You'll need some non-absorbable suture material, typically like an Ethylon at 3/0 or 4/0, curved hemostats, a scalpel handle and blade, some scissors, needle drivers, and of course your model today. So we're presented with this situation where we have a wound that has been examined, it's been assessed, it's been flushed, it's been debrided, and we've determined that we do want to go ahead and close this wound today. However, the wound does have a decent amount of dead space, as we can see here, and we're a little bit worried that we might get some excessive fluid accumulation, which could potentially lead to infection. So we are going to go ahead and place a Penrose drain to help with some of that fluid drainage. So what we are going to go ahead and do is you can have an assistant, and ideally you should be wearing sterile gloves for this. So you'll have an assistant open your Penrose drain for you, and then you'll just kind of grab the end of it with your hemostats, just like this. And then we're going to kind of use the tips of the hemostats as our guide under the skin. So we'll go ahead and insert this in the most dorsal aspect of this wound, where we're going to kind of bury the Penrose drain, and you kind of feel where the tip of the hemostats are. The idea here is that we're going to go ahead and tack this end of the Penrose drain kind of into the most dorsal aspect of the wound. So you can go ahead and grab your suture material with your needle drivers, and we're just going to enter the skin kind of right above where I'm feeling the tips of the hemostats, and we will come out right through here. And then the idea is that we want to grab our Penrose drain, go through right here, and then we'll kind of go back through the drain on this side. And then back through the skin to help kind of tack it down inside of the wound. I'll go ahead and let the hemostats go, and ideally want the drain to sit kind of nicely in the space. There we go. And then we will tie it, secure it. Great. So now what we are going to do is, again, I will take this end of the Penrose drain and I'm going to grab it again with the hemostats, but I really want the ends of the hemostats to be kind of out farther than the end of the Penrose drain, because what we're going to do is we're going to go through the ventral aspect of the incision here And so the idea is that we don't want the Penrose drain to exit out of the actual wound. So again, using the ends of my hemostats as a guide, I'm going to kind of feel where I feel them under the skin, and we're going to make a stab incision right there. And we want the ends of the hemostats to be kind of past the end of the Penrose drain so that we don't accidentally cut off a piece of the Penrose drain while we're making our stab incision, and then we have a loose piece of drain in the wound. So holding, let's see, I'll hold the hemostats with this hand so that we can see, and making my stab incision. Not quite. Oops. So we'll go back through here. I'm gonna readjust my grip on here a little bit. Back through our stab incision. Perfect. And then once I kind of punch the Penrose drain through, I can let go of it with the hemostats. The real skin, ideally, this would be a little bit easier, but just kind of pull it through. Alrighty, so what we have here is that the Penrose drain is kind of nicely embedded in the incision. It only has one exit point that is separate. It's a new exit point away from the incision. And so what we can do here is we're just going to kind of tack it down to the stab incision. So I will just grab a little bit of skin here and then come through the drain. And I will repeat the same thing on this other side, and then I will go ahead and close the wound. So here I have tacked down the drain on this other side, and then I went ahead and closed the wound with some cruciates and a few simple interrupteds. And so as you can see, there's no direct entry or exit of the Penrose drain from the wound itself. We have it exiting at the most ventral aspect down here. And then the last thing that we can do is it's always usually a little bit too long for what you need. So you can trim it just a little bit. There we go. And then the last thing we would do is go ahead and bandage this to help prevent infection and bacteria from kind of entering up into the wound via the drain.